a response to this gift that the church has accepted and has called me to the eternal priesthood of Jesus Christ. Being ordained a priest is something that I still can't understand, even though it's been almost 3 weeks. It was probably the most moving and most emotional and most powerful experience, the most powerful day of my entire life. And so I knew that I had to celebrate Mass of Thanksgiving in the very place where my family has responded to the faith as well. And so I thank you for being willing to come here and celebrate and pray with me to our Lord Jesus Christ, who constantly gives of himself through the Holy Eucharist, and prays continually on the cross for all of us to respond as well in our lives. There are 2 small things I wanted to leave us with to reflect on for today. That in using my ordination, in using this Mass of Thanksgiving, I was hoping that all of us, regardless of whether you know me or not, or are related to me or not, could join with me in reflecting on the tremendous value that resides in this concept of the transmission of the faith. Meaning what? Meaning how amazing it is when people give the faith to the generation after them. I know for a fact that I would not be able to enjoy this tremendous gift of the priesthood or of the faith had it not been for my mother's willingness to transmit the faith to me, or had it not been my Lola's willingness to transmit the faith to her, or the willingness of my great-grandmother whose remains lie in the sacristy to transmit the faith to my Lola. The greatest gift we can give to the next generation and to the family members that we have and to the friends that we have is the faith. That is the only legacy God is calling us to pass on. Because ultimately, no one will care about the accomplishments we have. No one will care about any kind of money we have saved. But the long-term ramifications for our lives, for the people who will come after us in a parish that is so proud of the families that it has, is the faith. Because it is only because of that faith can there be an eternal reunion, an eternal fiesta, an eternal collection of families where people can enjoy their presence, moving from one house to the next and to the next, enjoying our lives together with the Lord for eternity. This is what is called the eternal banquet, that lasts more than one day. It lasts forever. And so pillars of today's gospel, we are not called to harbor hate and anger for our neighbor. But instead, we are called, along with the divine assistance of the Eucharist, to instead harbor an entire reservoir of love in our hearts, so that the faith that we keep closest to our hearts can be transmitted from one generation to the next. May our lives of faith be passed on forever. May priests and lay faithful sit in this church in Pila for years to come. May visitors constantly come back and celebrate Mass in unison out of a loving desire to give thanks to the Lord for His mercy, hopefully